What is going on, everybody? We're here, back with a brand new episode of Higurashi When They Cry. Last time on, we seen Shion torture Sadako, but in the middle of her torturing her, Sadako still had the strength to continue on for the sake of her Nini, and Shion realized in that moment that she let the Satoshi in her heart die, and thus for break the promise to him of protecting Sadako. Later on, we've also found out that Oryu did not do the murders from Mion's point of perspective. What Oryu told Mion, at least as his successor, all Oryu did was just simply nod and bluff her way through the murders to give that vibe of that Oryu was behind the Oshiro-sama murders, but the reality is she was not behind it. In fact, she was trying to find out who was behind those murders. She just put on the facade that she did commit them. So right now, Mion has been murdered, and Shion will be as herself, and I'm very curious on how this chapter will end, so let's get right into it. Last step, page 199. Shion Sonozaki's last confession is dubious. Did Hag convince her that the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with it? Or is that the truth? In my investigation so far, I've proven that there are aspects of the curse which can't be explained by the Sonozaki family alone. So my notes were all bogus from the beginning. These 200 pages are full of bullshit. I thought of burning this notebook, but I won't do it. This notebook proves my guilt. I won't distort the facts. I won't burn it. After all, my life was only a notebook long. I wonder if anybody will read this. If somebody does, please let them learn something from my stupidity. This series of mysterious deaths in Himizawa, dubbed Oshiro-sama's curse. If you're reading this, please find the truth. That's my only wish. June 1983. Mion Sonozaki. It's so interesting, the parallels between Kechi and Shion slash, I'll just call her Shion, of both wanting to find the truth. Specifically in chapter 1, Kechi wants to find out the truth, and well, in his case, it leads to murder. Same thing in Shion's case. She wants to find the truth, but a whole bunch of dead bodies are on the way, you know. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, as they say. So it's very interesting how those two mirror each other. Let us continue. June 1983. There has been a series of disappearances in Himizawa Village, Shishiboran City Prefecture. The suspect is Mion Sonozaki, years old. Allegedly, she abducted, imprisoned, and killed 5 Himizawan residents: Oryu Sonozaki, Shion Sonozaki, Kichiro Kimiroshi, Rika Furude, and Sadako Hojo, between June 19th and the 21st. Preliminary investigations on the incident were delayed at the time due to insufficient evidence, but by chance the case was solved rather abruptly. On the morning of the 22nd, a vehicle patrolling the Sonozaki property heard screams from inside and rushed in as an emergency measure. They secured the suspect's missing younger sister, Shion Sonozaki, and her 2 missing classmates, Kichimara Bauer and Rena. The suspect fled the scene. We found hair, pieces of skin, and blood of the 4 missing people, Oryu Sonozaki, Kichiro Kimiroshi, Rika Furude, and Sadako Hojo, in the torture room that was discovered in the basement of the outer building on the Sonozaki family property. Supposedly, that's where they were killed. We concluded that the victims were tortured in that torture room. However, their remains have still not been found. According to one of her imprisoned classmates' advice, the body should be somewhere in the basement of the outbuilding where the torture took place. However, nothing has been uncovered as of yet, including the escape route the suspect took. In addition, investigations continued regarding any possible connection to the series of mysterious deaths in recent years. But no evidence that Mion Sonozaki was involved, either direct way or indirect way, has been found. There are still many unclear points as to the motive behind the incident, and as those of the Sonozaki family and the residents of Himizawa have been extremely uncooperative in assisting us, we expect to require a long time to clarify them. The opinion of a local officer knowledgeable about the region is that this may have been a lynching, an internal form of punishing sacrilegious acts carried out against the beliefs of Himizawa village. It is clear that these incidents are particularly rooted in this region, and the prefectural police department has ordered a cautious investigation. We anticipated gaining valuable clues from the missing person believed to have been in prison for the longest time, Shion Sonozaki, the suspect's younger sister. However, the incident has left such a serious mental after effects that she has not been in a state of mind to properly answer any questions about what she knows. This psychologist concluded that she is in a temporary state of shock, but as of today she has yet to show any improvement. Oh boy. I was acting at first. It was just an act to avoid being interrogated by the police. As it turns out, though, fake insanity can become real. You see, I couldn't bear it any longer. I can continue to be haunted by the presence Rena had talked about. It was so close that I could almost touch my back. It wasn't Satoshi-kun, and it wasn't an hallucination. It had become Shion's ghost. Shion didn't go to heaven after all. She was always by my side instead. Shion didn't like the fact that I was still alive when she wasn't. She had decided to haunt me until she witnessed my death. Every night she whispered to me, telling me to die. I get it. I get it. I shouted at the Shion in my back. Through my mouth, she shouted back at me. It must look odd to other people. They think I was arguing for myself. It's not fair. Why are you still living, sis? Die, die, die already. You said you'd die right away after you killed me. I'm waiting, I'm waiting. It's so dark and cold in this well. It's cold. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. I get it. I get it. Shut up. What exactly do you think, sis? You won't die in the way you want to. You're just running away. You're trying to survive even after you did all those horrible things. You'll never be forgiven. You're cursed. You're cursed. You're destined to die. Jesus. Bang, 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 bang! Shion banged on the door. Bam, 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 bam. The noise is too loud. It's cracking my ears and my head open. Shion's trying to break in. Ah, shit, alright, Shion, I get it. The perfect way for me to die is to be cursed to death by you, isn't it? But I won't be going so easily. I won't simply disappear. It wouldn't be fair if your beloved was left alive after all. I went out into the balcony to avoid Shion, who was on the other side of the door. If I jump over the railing to the neighboring apartment, I could reach the fire escape. Eat shit, Shion! I leaned over the railing and jumped to the balcony next door. Then I rushed down the stairs, noiseless as a cat. Shion was too stupid to realize I escaped. It wouldn't take too long to get to Kechi's house on a motorcycle. Shion must believe that I'm still in that room. She's so stupid. Soon enough, I could see the Marbauer mansion. I'd never seen it before, but I heard a great deal about it from Shion. She told me that Kechi's room is on the second floor. She'd wake him up, throw a stone. I threw a couple of stones at the window, and shortly thereafter the light turned on and the window opened. I saw Kechi there. The moment I saw him, my madness cooled off for a while. Even from here, I could tell that Kechi was running down the stairs. He showed up quickly, with a doll in his hand. I felt depressed to see it. It was a doll he failed to give to Shion. It isn't fair after all, Shion. I'm so jealous, Kei-chan. I want to receive a doll from Satoshi-kun too.
Mio! お久しぶり。どう？元気にしてた？
Despite the burning insanity within me, I spoke to him calmly. Ah, it's true. My body's controlled by the demon now. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here this late.
お前、こんなところをうろついてて大丈夫なのか？
本当はいけないよ。
それよりどうしたんだよ。こんな時間に。
最後にお話ししたかったから。
I feel horribly sleepy. Maybe it's more like fainting due to a loss of blood. That sensation is proof that the insanity is swallowing me.
私ね。もうここにはいられない。
大丈夫か？どこか具合でも？
今日まで頑張ってきたけど自分でわかるのもうダメ。もう限界。私のお迎えはもうすぐ後ろまで来てる。
So that's what you meant. I won't get to decide how I die. Shion won't allow me to. No wonder. I dropped her down the well. It wasn't only her, none of the people I killed chose to die how they did. Considering that, debating how I'll die must seem like a luxurious concern to the dead.
大丈夫かよ。もう無理するな。あ、そうだ。俺ミオに。
I'll kill him, I'll kill him, kill him. I'll avenge Satoshi-kun's death, I'll avenge his death. This guy's Shion's beloved. I hate her. I'll kill him and teach her a lesson. Eat this While gravity's pull spun around me, I realized I had stabbed him with a knife. I made it before Shion killed me. I got back at her. Take that, Shion. Kechi rolled on the ground, clutching his stomach.
できた。全部できた。私が殺したやつはこれで全員。
Yeah, I did it! I did it! I avenged your death, Satoshi-kun! Don't you love me for it? Will you stroke my head? Yes, this was all a bad dream. After all, I was just in my room like always, suffering from nightmares of Shion. But where was I now? I had been standing on my apartment's fire escape alone. I could still recall that dream. Yes, I had stepped out onto the veranda. My front door was still locked, so I had to climb through the veranda again. Whoa! My foot had slipped, and then I felt a floating sensation. After that, a sharp, indescribable pain ran through my head. That incredible pain finally cleared the fog away from my nightmare. I just slipped from the fire escape as I tried to return to my balcony, and fell onto the roof jutting out from the elevator hall 2 or 3 floors down. My room is on the 8th floor. I wasn't expecting to be caught up here. When I fell, my head landed right on the concrete corner, and I could feel both enormous pain and the warm blood dripping out. I felt strangely calm. I couldn't sense the demon, Shion's ghost, or Micro Edge. I felt just like a baby. The nothingness brought me peace. All my memories from when I was born and named Mion up until today came to my mind. I recalled memories of the time I'd spent with Satoshi-kun. Tears rolled down my cheeks. Where did I go wrong? When in my life did I make the wrong choice? I do know just where and when that was, 'cause Satoshi-kun reminded me. I'll leave Sadako to you. Sure. I believe you'll return. I'll be waiting for you. Now take care of Sadako. I'll wait for you with her. We'll be good girls. You left your precious sister to me and nobody else. I guess I didn't get the significance of what you said, but I'll be fine this time. I love you, Satoshi-kun. Sadako, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. Shion, I'm really sorry. Could I repay everything with my death? No way, right? That's not how it should be done. I wanted Satoshi-kun to stroke my head one more time. I wanted to hear him mumble one more time. I knew it was too much to ask, and so I had no other regrets. That brought an end to my apologies. I rolled over, sending myself falling to the ground. Head first. I hoped my head would crack open, to take me to the hell I deserved. I was just a demon. I belonged in hell. Why was I born? Why did this world give birth to me? I shouldn't have been born. I wouldn't have had to suffer if I had been. What was the meaning of my meaningless life? If I wasn't born, nobody would have had to suffer. Thank you for treating me kindly, even though I was like this. Thank you for teaching me love, even though I was like this. Even though I was like this. Even though... I'm really sorry, everybody. I really am. I'm sorry. If Satoshi-kun could give me another chance, I wouldn't make the same mistake again. Never again. Here comes the ground. Bye. I love you. Huh?
今日までの出来事が全て夢だったらいいのになって何度も思った。だから書いてみた。書いて夢になると信じて。ほら、よく漫画の中にあるじゃない？私の目の前に食べきれないほどのお菓子が積み上げてあって、それに手を伸ばし、まさに食らいつこうというところで無粋に起こされて目を覚ますの。それはとてつもなく長い夢で、私は1年以上も眠っていたことになる。そう、私は監督の野球チームの試合の後、有頂天に駆け出して赤信号の横断歩道に踊り出してバイクにはねられてしまった。 それでずっと1年以上も意識が戻らなくて、ようやく目が覚めるの。まぶたを開けた時、そこには病院の天井が飛び込んでくる。それからずっと看病しててくれたサトシくんが覗き込んでくれてさすがにこれはできすぎか。でもいいよね。そういうことにしてもいいよね。生まれてきてごめんなさい。
Holy shit. Fuck, man. Oh. Breakdown of all person. Okay, goddamn. What a chapter. Holy shit. Oh, Joe died of a suicide by point of trauma with the village. Yeah, case closed. Believed it disappeared. God, what a chapter, man. Like, what a best word I can describe this specific chapter? Tragedy. Because that's what it is. It's an honest tragedy. Kind of like it really is like a Greek tragedy of Shion who meets a boy. They love each other. Then the boy disappears, and well, she goes insane and starts killing everyone, trying to find the cause of his disappearance. But along the way, trying to find that truth, she dies. She loses sight of why she did it. When did it go? Last recounted in 2004, huh? But damn, what a damn. Kasai died of liver cancer. That sucks. But yeah, what a fucking great chapter, man. Every chapter is great, but like this one, God, it's every chapter is so great, but I don't know. This one just this tells such a complete story, you know. It pretty much tells the story. Kachimara Bauer died in the hospital on July 3rd, 1983. Cause of death is acute heart failure. Shion Sonozaki died on June 20th. Cause of death is severe trauma due to impact after falling from the balcony of her apartment. The suspect for serial murders, which began on June 20th, 1983, fell to her death from the balcony of her apartment, which she hastily rented to conceal her identity. Following her death, police filed charges against her for the 5 murders, which began with Ryu Sonozaki. God, Shion's just a fantastically written character. Like, it's so good. It's just, you know, the whole thing of like, she's a murderer, but like you understand where she's coming from, but she just loses sight of why she did it in the first place, and well, in the end, it kills her. And she wishes she would have never been born, cause any of this suffering. What the hell is this?
よっしゃー、お昼だお昼。そらレナ、机をくっつけろ。
今日はレナのお弁当はミートボールなんだよ。おお、そりゃいいね。おじさんもぜひいただくよ。ほらリカちゃん、机。くっつけるのですよ。 ペター。残念なことにミートボールは私も大好物でございましたよ。皆さんに一口でも口に入るとは思わないことでしたよ。残念、そうはいかないです、さとこ。明らかに野菜不足のさとこには特別にかぼちゃ弁当を用意させてもらいました。
うわ、そりゃいじめだぞシオン。
うわー、かぼちゃは嫌ですの。ほら、そのかぼちゃ嫌いはダメです。かぼちゃはですね、栄養価にとても優れているんです。育ち盛りのさとこは特に栄養に気を使わないといけないんですよ。私の目の黒いうちは変色は認めないので、その覚悟でお願いします。ほらほら、みんなもどうぞどうぞ。ほこほこのかぼちゃって甘くて美味しいんですよ。もにゅもにゅ。さとこ、これなら甘くて美味しいのですよ。
お、確かにこりゃいけるな。かぼちゃの甘みが嫌味なく、それでいて絶妙で。さとこ、お前は食うな、もったいない。
なんですって？かぼちゃは嫌いですけど、言い方が気に入りませんわ。そら言った言った。一口にガバッと言ってみなよ。ほらね、美味しいでしょ。まあ食べれなくもないですわね。当たり前です。さとこがかぼちゃ嫌いを克服できるように日夜研究してますので。さて、この調子で今年中にナス、ピーマン、アスパラガスと制覇していきましょう。
Game, why are you doing this to me?
冗談はごめんですわ。私が沖宮の学校に転校しましたよ。ダメです。サトシ君から頼まれている以上、健康管理は私の担当です。不摂生も許しませんから、そのつもりで。シオンさん嫌い。かぼちゃ嫌。
Fuck, man, that hurts. That fucking hurts. Oh my god. Oh my god, that hurt. Ugh. Oh my god, you fucking bastards. Oh god damn it, it hurts. Oh my god. Oh god, that fucking hurts. That really hurts. Oh my god. Jesus fucking Christ, that hurts. A happy day. Ooh, there's 2 more tips. Yeah, I didn't get the achievement for reading all the tips, but... Oh my god, that hurt. Oh, that hurt. Oh, game, why'd you show me that? Oh, what? That hurt? Man, that really hurt. Oh my god, that hurt. Ugh. Holy shit. Alright. Alright. Oof. Fuck. Okay, give me a second. After processing that fucking scene that had to, just break me even more, huh? Oh my god. God damn it, game. God fucking damn it, man. Alright, let's go check out these last tips. Alright, a few tips. Yeah, okay. So, ooh, what are these? A happy diary. Alright.
ええ。葛西氏が踏み込んだ時には室内は無人でベランダへの窓が開きっぱなし。その時が飛び降り時刻です。それでその真下の5階エレベーターフロアの屋根に一度落ちて脳震盪。そのしばらく後に横に転がって再落下、死亡。葛西氏が飛び降りを疑って地上を調べた時に遺体が見つからなかったのは、この時点ではエレベーターフロアの屋根の上で混沌中だったからです。前原圭一が刺されたのはほぼ同じ頃。その頃には園崎シオンはすでに飛び降りていて、屋根の上で脳震盪中。
違いますね。ベランダから抜け出して前原圭一を刺して、ベランダへまた戻る時に誤って落下じゃないかな。悪いけど周辺の部屋のベランダとかも調べ直してください。
おいさん、3番にお電話です。
はいはい、どちら様から？
佐藤と伝えればわかるとか、合言葉は論と言えと。
なもしもし。ああ、佐藤さんですか。こっちへ電話ということはいい知らせでしょうね。
Foreman got in contact with me and you were right after all.
うんうん。ありがとうございます。今度フラワーロードで一杯おごりますよ。
なんです今の電話。麻雀の誘いですか？
ビンゴ。園崎姉妹は逆なんです。ミオンがシオンでシオンがミオン。入れ墨入れる時に間違って逆にやっちゃって取り返しがつかなくなったらしい。だからこのノートのミオンとシオンは逆に読むんです。それでならサトシ君とシオンさん、いやミオンさん、ややこしいなの関係が理解できる。
ノートって先日の大石さん宛てと書かれて郵便ポストに投函されてたっていう買いノートのことですか？中身はめちゃくちゃで捜査か乱の恐れありって言いませんでしたっけ？
もちろん名前の入れ替えが分かったところでか乱の域を出ませんがね。このノートどこまで信じていいのやら。もし本当なら古出理香の死のあたりが怪しすぎるからな。
異常者の日記ですよ。読んでるとこっちまで変になりそうです。最後のページの生まれてきてごめんなさいなんて読んでるとこっちまで飛び降りたくなりますよ。
でも幸せな日記じゃないですか。
幸せですか？
この日記だけでサトシ君って名前何回くらい出てくると思います？シオンさんは本当にサトシ君のことが好きだったんだなって。その好きというのがね、若さゆえの勘違いでずれちゃって。
Yeah, yeah, that's a fair way to put it. That love was indeed misdirected and turned into murder. Disowned. Now, who is this?
ねえ、教えてよ母さん。鬼ババとどういう喧嘩をしたわけ？
Okay, mom makes sense.
感動されるなんてよっぽどだったわけでしょ？
お前もくだらないことに興味が尽きないね。ま、そろそろ話してもわからない年じゃないか。実はね、父さんと結婚したいって言ったらね、ダメ。
え？何それ？
Really?
私も当時はだいぶ車内生き方してて呆れられててね。その挙句連れてきた男が人気者だったわけでしょ。そりゃ大喧嘩よ。 いい名付けは当主が決めるなんて言われて、そんなの知ったこっかい、こんなクソババア、この場で切り伏せたらって大立ち回りよ。互いに板の間の日本刀抜いてちゃんちゃんバラバラ。
ひえ、鬼ババと盾を演じたわけ？母さんやるね。
まあね、母さんこう見えても若い頃は武闘派だし、互いに剣道有段だからそりゃあド派手だったわよ。周りはおろおろ面白かった。
なるほどね。その騒ぎのせいで感動されたわけ？
そうよ、感動上等。遠慮なく感動もらって父さんと籍を入れたわよ。ま、けじめってことで爪を剥がされたけどね。ほら、左手の爪だけいびつでしょ。
うわあ、それで鬼ババと母さんはずっと仲が悪いわけだね。
シオン、本当はね、そんなことないの。私と鬼ババ様はちゃんと仲がいいんだよ。
嘘だ
鬼ババ様には面倒な世間体があるからね。一度でも感動した以上甘くすると示しがつかないし。だから私も親類会議とかではおとなしく引っ込んでるけど、たまに遊びに行ってのんびりお茶とか飲んでるよ。
嘘だ、信じらんないね。
実はね、内緒よ、鬼ババ様もね、その昔けじめで爪を剥いだことあるんだってよ。今度会ったら左手の爪をよく見てごらん。
ひえ、鬼ババは何をやったわけ？
そうね、母さんは知らない。
まあ、その顔は知ってるな。教えてよ。
Wow. That actually does kind of shine a lot of light. You know, also tells of like where possibly where Shion's rebelliousness came from. And also the fact that Oryu, what kind of like Mion as the head, kind of, you know, fakes her outward appearance of being the head of this family, you know, with Shion and Mion's mother, Akane, just call her Akane, with Akane, and it's very interesting that it's, you know, outward appearances. It's don't judge a book by its cover, eh? So interesting, the Sonozaki family. So interesting. So interesting. How interesting. Just lots to think about. Just lots to think about. Alright, what's the staff room? Do you think that murder can be justified, depending on the motive? Hi, this is Ryokushi07. Thank you for playing Higurashi When They Cry, Kai, Chapter 5, Mikishi. Although I depict many deaths in my work, I have to ask myself a question. That question is there such a thing as justifiable murder? In our world, murder is prosecuted and the degree of punishment varies depending on the motive and circumstances. Having different degrees of punishment means that we are putting a value on the dead person's wife. Some scenes justify murder in Higurashi. By degrading the wife of the victim in those scenes, the players can sympathize with the characters more easily. The degree of sympathy would be different from person to person. People who could sympathize probably felt catharsis, and the people who disagreed with the character might have felt uncomfortable. That's indicated by how opinions were polarized regarding Kechi's actions and Tarakagoshi. In Mikeshi, there are also a number of murders. But this time, the main character Shion tries to earn sympathy for each one of them. How did you feel? How much were you able to sympathize with her? If you couldn't sympathize with her at all, then please bewait her as a crazy murderer. If you sympathize with her at all, then please have mercy on her. If you sympathize with her almost entirely, then please have mercy on her. If you completely sympathize with her, then please let us bewait both of you as crazy murderers. Well, what about me? Well, that's a secret. I'd like to reverse my question this time. What kind of murderer could you sympathize with if you were to be killed? A murderer who doesn't care about people's lives? That'd be quite a regrettable death. It's extremely sad to be killed in denial of all your values. A murderer who begs for forgiveness and tears? That'd be quite a regrettable too. They should kill you at all if they're begging your forgiveness. So what kind of murderer could you sympathize with? In the end, sympathy might be just a method for making the story more interesting. If you can sympathize, it's fun. If you can't sympathize, they're just crazy. We cannot put value on human life. It's sin to even try doing so. Murder is murder. Nothing more than that. I just hope everybody can live happily together. How does that sound? Would you agree to that? If you wouldn't. Thank you very much for playing Higurashi When They Cry Kai, Chapter 5 Mikeshi. Can only bring out this 5th episode thanks to all your support. Higurashi will only get more intense as it approaches the finale. Nothing would make me happier if you continued reading the chapters to come. The next chapter will be titled, I'm going to butcher this, Sumi Hoshi Bushi. Well, I am rather fortunate if you enjoyed yourselves even a little. Thank you again for playing. I hope this has brought a little cover to your life. A 7th expansion, Ryokushu 7. Yeah, that really is the theme of this chapter. Of like, can you can sympathize a murder, but like, it's a fair question. Like, what if you were killed by a murderer? Would you sympathize with, your own murderer? It's an interesting question. Very much is. And really, that Saffron also portrayed to me of like, Higurashi is a doujinshi project, which basically means indie in Japan. Like, this was an independent project, which is fucking insane to me that this was independent. Because goddamn, is it just so fucking good. This is so great. Every chapter has been so great. Characters, the storyline, it's all been so fantastic. I have loved every single part of it. So I think let us jump into chapter 6. All right, and here we are on chapter 6. Let's just get right into it. Where this is going to go from, I have no idea. But it's probably going to go something real good. Use a trash pile. Suzu Morshi, the first fall. Atonement chapter. How is your reasoning towards the truth coming along? The next tragedy is ready for you. Enjoy. This is a humorous story with a tragic struggle at the end. Difficulty 0. You can just enjoy the crowns milling about. Alrighty then. Interesting. Skip. Let's just get right into it. The first time I would try hard to avoid the inevitable tragedy. The second time I would be disgusted with the inevitable tragedy. The third time my disgust would turn into anger. Alright. Can't read it? Okay. The chorus of the Higurashi had replaced that of the cicadas. The cries came from a distance, echoed wildly, and then faded away. They sounded so weak and fragile. Luna's voice was just like the cries of the Higurashi. She said something, but the words would quickly fade away. She sounded so fragile that it made me worry she might vanish into thin air, along with her words. But nobody's pressuring her to continue. Mion dusted off the hood of an abandoned car and sat down on it as if to show how relaxed she was. She actually did look very relaxed, as if she came here to enjoy the cool breeze of the evening or something. Sadako followed Mion's example and sat down as well. She didn't look nearly as relaxed, however. I thought about following suit, but felt rude to look away from Rena even for the short time it would take to look for a place to sit down, so I decided to remain standing. Rika-chan didn't sit down either, but she wasn't looking at Rena. Everybody else was looking at Rena, but Rika-chan was looking at the red sky. Rika-chan's expression was hard to describe. She looked pale and blank at the same time, as if all of her emotions were gone. Rena wore the same kind of expression. She kept trying to say something, but it seemed like the words were stuck in her throat. She noticed Rika-chan was looking at the sky, so she decided to look that way as well. Mion did the same. So did I. Sadako looked that way too. And with that, there was silence. It was like we were in a concert hall filled with the chorus of the Higurashi, a concert hall with the highest roof in the world. A refreshingly cool breeze tickled our sweaty bodies. I could almost make myself believe we came here to enjoy the breeze and the sunset. I could only wish that was what we came here for. The shadows of the birds flying across the sky soured the feeling of our quiet concert. They reminded us that time hadn't stopped. Nobody wanted to pressure Rena. We didn't want time to pressure her either. We wanted to keep the cool red sky as long as we could so Rena could calm down and talk. Right then, I heard a sound, and it brought us all back to reality. The hood Mion was sitting on had made a noise when she moved it to cross her legs. I don't know whether Mion made the noise on purpose or not, but it reminded us that time had been passing by. The noise took our attention away from the sky and back to the ground. Such a tasteless noise seemed to have urged Rena to speak. Rena heaved a small sigh, nodded as if she understood something, and looked at us like she always did.
話す前に一個だけ言いたいことがあるの。
She was probably saying it to everybody, but since I'm sitting in the middle, with her looking at me, I nodded to her to represent our agreement.
レナは正しい努力をしたと思ってる。
Her voice wasn't hoarse anymore. She sounded just like she always did.
人って幸せになるためにどれだけの努力が許されるのかな。
It sounded like a question, but nobody answered.
だからね、私みーちゃんの部活って好きなの。ほら、優勝のためには何でもしようって考え方、そういうのって素敵だと思う。だって世の中が綺麗事で縛られてて、やっていい努力がわずかだけに決められていたら、幸せじゃない人たちはますます幸せを勝ち取れなくなっちゃうじゃない。不幸ってね、連鎖するものだと思うの。一度続き始めるとなかなか抜け出せない。そこから抜け出すには運とか人の助けとか、そういう他力本願なものだけじゃ到底足りない。自分でももっともっと努力しないといけないと思うの。それも本当の本当に精一杯。そこまでしてやっとつかめるのが幸せってものじゃないかなって。
Rena stopped talking, looked up and heaved a sigh, and opened her mouth again.
でもだからってみんなにもそれを受け入れてもらおうなんて甘えるつもりもないかな。だって本当に汚らしいもの。みんなだってついさっき呆然としたでしょ。それはつまりそういうことだよね。
I've never seen her smile so self-derisively like this. That smile looked unbelievably painful. I could really feel how huge the distance between us was. There's nothing physical there, but I felt as if she's talking to us through iron bars or chain link fence. That's how great the distance between us was.
でもそれでもいいよ。仕方ないもんね。そういう風にできてる世の中だもん。多分私が逆の立場でいられたなら同じように唖然として無責任で無慈悲な同情を浮かべていたに違いないもの。
She probably said that to hit back at us. We're just putting on a mask of sympathy, enjoying the spectacle of a clown on a stage. That's why she said that. She probably expected us to say something in return, but none of us knew what to say. Rena looked disappointed for a moment, then turned and scrambled on top of an abandoned car. Then she spread her arms out and gave a little twirl, letting her skirt billow up before she grabbed both ends and gave us a graceful courtesy.
じゃあ始めるよ。竜宮レナの一世一代の頑張り物語を。
There was no curtain or spotlight. She was atop an abandoned car amidst the trash piles, a stage specifically made for her. We tried not to miss a word of what she was about to say. We believed that this was the least we could do to not hurt her feelings. What is this? Chapter 6, Sumeboshi. Okay. Let's say it's a winter month like December right now. What would you do if all of a sudden you had a week of hot and humid days with crying cicadas? Would you still wear your coat and scarf? Absolutely not, right? Even though it's still June, it's already summer to us since we've been having hot days for so long. So it's totally okay to do this kind of club activity in June. At my school, everybody usually does what they want in PE class, but today would be an exception. All my classmates were gathered in the schoolyard. Mian looked over everybody gathered there and then spoke up loudly.
さてみんな、今日の趣旨はよくわかってるね。
Damn. They all raised the water guns in their hands. It's okay to use water guns in June because it's been so hot and humid. All my classmates are joining in, so it's going to be a huge water gun battle, so I'm so excited.
さすがクラス全員で部活だとなんだか盛り上がりますわね。そうだね。全員で表ではしゃぐのってなんだか楽しそうかな。
Okay, so this is Rikachi's point of view.
みんなは楽しいですが、僕たちは例によって負けられないのです。
ま、そういうこったな。およそ勝負と名の付く以上、俺たち部活メンバーは常にリスクを背負ってるからな。
まあそういうこと。部活メンバー諸君は部活に負けたりしちゃうと大変なペナルティーが待ってるからね。せいぜいしっかり戦うこと。
よしよし、盛り上がってきたぜ。生徒諸君、武器点検は十分か？弾倉は満タンか？
任せてくださいよ、前原さん。銃撃戦は僕たちの最も得意とするところですからね。
富田たちはよく水鉄砲で遊んでますから、かなり強敵かもなのですよ。
今日の僕たちは少し違います。
Tomika-kun and Okuma-kun smiled confidently, holding their guns in a practiced manner. Their skills must give them confidence. They even look different.
ミオンは言うに及ばず、サトコもリカちゃんもかなり強敵になりそうだぜ。レナはどうだ？チョコマが動いて、イの一番にやられないように頑張れよ。 そういえば最近のレナは罰ゲーム常連だな。
はあ、最近不得意なゲームが多かったから。でもケイチ君も最近私と同じで罰ゲームが多いと思うかな。
I always lose.
罰ゲームの格好のまま帰宅して、さあ脱ごうとしたところでお袋に見つかった俺の哀愁などわかるものか。無我。
私だって先週のはひどいよ。普通の女の子ならお嫁に行けなくなっちゃうよ。
Sadako laughed at us loudly while we were shuddering at the memory of the cruel punishments we suffered in the past.
覇気や運気にも偏りというのがございましてよ。その意味から言えば、ここしばらくのレナさんやケイイチさんはいわゆる負け組というやつでございますわね。
確かに負け癖ってやつはあるね。闘志ってやつは負けが続くとくじけてくる。絶対勝てるという信念が砕けると、全く同じことをやっても裏目裏目に出るもんだからね。
てめえら、たまったま俺とレナがちょいと罰ゲームを哀れに思って引き受けてやってたのを感謝もせずにその言い草か。
あら、そうでしたの。それは感謝の気持ちが足りず申し訳ないことでございましたよ。
うわー、さとこてめえ、そのセリフは俺の怒りに火をつけたぜ。後悔させてやる。
その意気だよ、ケイちゃん。まあせいぜいあがいておじさんを楽しませてちょうだいよね。レンナも頑張って。あうあう言ってる間にクラスで一番最初に脱落したらさすがに恥ずかしいからね。でもその可能性も高いかな。
一番最初に脱落するのがレナさんだと思いましてよ。どんな目に遭うか今からお覚悟なさいませな。ひどいよ、みーちゃんもさとこちゃんも。レナもケイイチもファイト王ですよ。
Mion and Sadako laughed at us as well as they could, then moved on to tease their next target. Left alone, all I could do was stomp on the floor in anger.
くそー、絶対負けねえ。あそこまで言われたら負けられねえぜ。
そうだね。あそこまで言われると悔しいよね。
っていうか悔しいどころじゃねえぞ。プライドの問題だぞ。くそ。
みーちゃんの言うように負け癖ってやっぱりあるかもしれないよね。だから今日は絶対に勝ってみんなを見返してやろう。
Hell yeah. Rena's eyes look different. She usually is a funny and weird person, but I know she has the determination to do what she needs to. When Rena looks like this, she can be a tough opponent.
今日は私も部活の規則にのっとり手加減なしでいく。
God, it feels like it's been a million years since we've had one of these types of chapters. Just
おい、なんだかかっこいいこと言うじゃねえの。
the characters having fun together, and you know what? That just makes me happy, man.
まるで
Alright,
普段の
God.
自分はわざと手を抜いているって言わんばかりだぜ。
Rena smiled. Or maybe you could have called it a wicked grin. She was serious. She was serious about what she said. You could tell that from her expression alone. Among all the club members, Rena was usually the most sensible one. The rule of our club is that we can do anything in order to win, but she's the only one who has moral qualms in doing it. That's why we rarely have a hard time against her, except for when she snaps. It's weird to hear her say that she won't go easy.
ちっくしょう。そんな笑い方されたら俺も超本気で行くしかねえじゃねえかよ。
いつも本気で戦うのが部活だけど、それでもやっぱりそれ以上に本気じゃないといけない時ってあるよね。今日は多分それだね。
だな。
We pounded our fists together. Usually when we don't want to lose the game, one asks the other to work together, but Rena didn't ask this time. Which meant that she was going to try to defeat everybody her by herself. No, not try. She was going to do it by herself. Rena looked really cool at that moment, but I wasn't scared. If she was seriously going to do it, I'd have to be serious and do it too. My fighting spirit had been dented after many losses, but it had begun to burn hot once more.
ケイチ君もなかなかいい顔してるね。怖いな。全員と一人で戦っても勝てるつもりでいる顔だね。
We're here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. And we're all
レ
out
ナだ
of
ってそのつ
bubblegum.
もりだろ。
じゃあぶつかるのは最後だね。
互いにクラス全員を全滅させたら最後にはそうなるな。
最後の戦いの時、そこにいるのがケイチ君なのを期待してるね。
おう。
We pounded our fists together again.
光線規定はちゃんと覚えてるね。被弾時の申請だけは正直にね。被弾した人は撃っちゃダメだよ。仮に当てても無効ね。
ミオン、被弾の定義を再確認したいぜ。
水鉄砲で撃たれたら被弾。ひねくれたケイちゃんのためにさらに補足するなら、水鉄砲というこの容器から出た水が最初に触れたものが標的であった時被弾とするわけ。つまり水鉄砲を経由した水をバケツに溜めてぶっかけても無効ってわけ。
直接攻撃以外は有効じゃないってことだね。さとこちゃんの脅威が少し薄らいだかな。トラップにもいろいろございましたよ。レナさんなんか一番最初に餌食にして差し上げましたよ。それは無理。私を仕留めようとしたらさとこちゃんじゃまだまだ役不足だね。なんですって？
ほほほ、レナが売り言葉とはね。こりゃ面白くなりそうだよ。ねえケイちゃん、
大して面白くねえと思うぞ。俺かレナかどっちにやられたいかを選ばされるだけなんだからな。
ケイチもやる気満々なのです。
Mion seemed to sense the fighting spirit in me and Rena. Could tell that she was as serious as we are, just from the way she looks.
よっしゃ、いい面構えだよ。気に入った。じゃあ始めるよ。全員3回。くじで決められた場所に移動してね。
Everybody had to draw lots to pick a place to start the game from. It wouldn't be fun if everybody was close together at the beginning of the game. By the way, my starting position was behind the school building. When I drew this starting position, I thought about hiding until there were only a few people left like I did in our last game of tag. Fucking camper. But a defensive tactic like that wasn't interesting to me anymore. I hadn't been this excited in a long time. My legs were shaking with the excitement. It was my first time experiencing that kind of feeling. They could hear Mion's countdown from some distance away.
3、2、1。
The single shot of a toy pistol echoed. With that sound, I was already running around the building. There had been some underclassmen nearby. I usually assumed that somebody else would take care of them, but this time was different. I dove like Neo from the Matrix. They stood frozen in fear as I ran towards them, screaming at the top of my voice. The They took a moment to quickly decide whether to fight or to run away, and in that moment I shot one after another.
悪いな。俺の隣が当たった時点で運がなかったと思ってくれ。
I felt bad for them because they lost the game so quickly, so I rubbed their heads, cheered them up, and then took their water guns. Yes, that was the key factor in this game. You can't put very much water in a water gun. With 10 people around you in a gun battle, the water would be gone in a minute. I abandoned the gun I used to shoot them, held one of the guns in each hand, and scooped out the schoolyard. Just like I expected, there was an intense battle happening there. In the short time it took me to take care of the area behind the school building, it seems like most of my classmates were already shot. I wasn't surprised though, kind of knew it happened. You need to have a high skill to fight in the open schoolyard. Especially when most of the club members were there. It must have been like a battle of elephants and ants.
なんだミオンのあれは。
Mion was holding a different water gun from the one she had when the game started. She was now holding one that looked like a huge machine gun. Its range capability, its pump action shooting, and the amount of water it can hold were way beyond comparison. There were no restrictions on what kind of water guns we could use today. As long as it's a water gun, we were allowed to use any kind. Most of us have normal pistol-style water guns from a local toy store or something similar. I would have bought a bigger one with Mion's if they had one, but they weren't in stock, and I had to order it in. In other words, Mion ordered hers a long time ago, just for today. She's always well prepared when it comes to winning. She must have thought that we wouldn't allow her to use the big water gun if she showed it off before the game started. She must have hidden it somewhere. It looks like most of our classmates were shot right after the game started. Only a few were still alive, trying to survive as long as they could by using heavy construction equipment as a shield. Mion mercilessly shot at them from various angles to make them come out from behind his shield. Toba-kun and Okuma-kun were trying their best to resist her attack from behind the shield. It looked like they had no chance against her, but that actually wasn't true. After all, the two of them were only still alive because of all their experience in water gun battles. They survived the first few minutes of her assault, even though 99% of their classmates didn't, and they were still surviving at this very moment. Mion, however, is also a battle-hardened soldier. She used the advantage of her big water tank and gradually but certainly drove them into a corner. It was only a matter of time until she broke them down.
ダメだ。あのマシンガンは辛いよ。
War isn't fair, son.
委員長の水が少なくなるまでなんとかしのごう。今は手も足も出ないよ。
They tried to hold out against her, but all they could do for now was to keep one behind cover as Mion started to stray closer and closer to them. They wanted to use their 2 against 1 advantage, but it seemed like they wouldn't even get that chance. If they tried attacking recklessly, one of them might get shot and the other would have no chance of winning. So they grew more cautious, placing their bets on their final chance, but that caused their offense to wane. Oh shit! What is this, a fucking S-craft? Of course, Mion saw through their plan. She was purposely provoking them so they lose their patience and start attacking her recklessly. Mion circled around the construction equipment and now she was standing with her back towards me. If I went up against her machine gun fair and square, I wouldn't stand a chance. So, attacking from behind would be the only way for me to defeat her. Even though she was in a defenseless position, there was some distance between us. I was still too far away, but it would still be better to attack her now than to take her head on. Don't hesitate, Kechi. You won't have this chance again! Sat down from my hiding place and ran as fast as I could towards her with 2 water guns in my hands. Instead of approaching slowly and silently, I screamed at the top of my lungs. The perfect strategy.
そこから来たか、ケイちゃん。
Mion seemed a little shocked by my surprise attack, but she immediately pulled herself together. She knew the advantages of her weapon, but she didn't shoot me just yet. She held back, luring me closer. Mion was well aware of how much water she had left. She had the same kind of water gun as me, would have had the same range capability. so it would have been down to her technique to decide the winner. If she was fighting against one of her underclassmen, she could have defeated them easily. Mion immediately calculated her chance of winning against me and figured out that her only chance was to use the advantage of her water gun. She saw the eye of the tiger in me and recalculated her chances of winning in a split second. Really, I can admire how fast she does those things. I ran at top speed to shorten the distance between us. Our strength should have been equal. I had 2 water guns with full tanks and she had a machine gun with a half-empty tank. We both waited for the perfect moment.
今日のケイちゃんの気迫には敬意を表するよ。今日のあんたには正面からぶつかり合って互角以上の勝率を弾き出せる自信がない。
残念だぜミオン。勝率の弾き方も鈍ったな。今日の俺に正面からぶつかり合ったら互角どころじゃない。てめえの負けだ。
The moment we stepped within range, Mion and I pulled our triggers at the same time. Mion set her sight squarely on me while I was trying to shoot and one at the same time. Her shot would obviously be more accurate than mine. My shot of water flew towards nowhere. Mion didn't even need a duck. But Mion's shot made a beautiful arc straight towards my chest. I could see the line of water coming straight at me, but I was too unstable to dodge. Mion had no doubt that she got me.
気合だけではどうにもならない現実がこれだったね。やっぱりケイちゃんは最初に脱落だ。
やっぱり残念だぜミオン。今日のミオンのコンピュータは一手読みが足りないぜ。
ほざくな。その体勢からかわす術はない。水の弾丸で撃ち抜かれろ。そしてどうして私の背後を沈黙して奪わず叫びながら襲う愚を犯したかを呪うがいいよ。
You really disappointed me today, Mion. You could have figured it out if you spent just one more second to think. You could have figured out the reason why I didn't creep up on you, but screamed as loud as I could instead. Mion noticed my surprise attack and turned around to face me. In other words, she turned her back on the opponents she was fighting earlier. Those opponents heard my scream and saw that she had to turn her back on them. Boom. Mion noticed her back was wet and cold. She finally understood that the underclassmen she was attacking just earlier had shown their fangs and attacked her from behind. I blocked her water shot with my arm. Right before it hit my chest, the line of water was broken into droplets and splattered away.
そうだったか。被弾者の攻撃は被弾しても無効だ。
そいつに気づくのだいぶ遅かったぜ。伏せろミオン。
Mion squatted down and covered her head. That was me versus Tomika-kun and Okuma-kun. Their reflexes weren't so bad. They knew well that I'd be their next target after Mion was gone. They didn't feel sorry at all for attacking me right after I just saved them from their predicament. I can respect their cruelty and how quickly they shifted gears. They may one day be able to join our club if they keep refining their sense and skill.
次は前原さんだ。このまま撃ち殺すんだ。こっちは2人だもんね。負けるわけがない。
They were, however, one step behind me. It was already too late. For them, Mion was their first target and I was next. But I was different. My first target was them from the start. I didn't even see Mion as my target to begin with, because I knew they'd take care of her. I was pointing my guns at them long before they moved their sights from Mion to me. It seemed like they noticed at the last moment that both my guns had been pointing at them from the beginning, which meant it was already too late for them. I jumped over Mion, rolling on the ground and landed on my feet. I looked as elegant as an athlete who had just finished a perfect performance. I had a gun in each of my hands, and with those guns I shot them each in the middle of their chest.
早すぎる。
Dead.
僕たちが2人がかりで負けるなんて。
Dead. Tomika-kun and Okuma-kun fell to their knees in disappointment.
ケイちゃんがこれだけのことをやってのけるなんて私も鈍ったってことかな。
Rion wiped the dirt off her knees, looking frustrated.
別にミオンは鈍っちゃいなかったろ。
じゃあなんでおじさんが負けたわけよ。
そんなの決まってるじゃないか。
I twirled my guns on the tips of my fingers.
たまには勝たねえと格好がつかねえからだよ。
There was only a few people left alive. Rena, Sadako, and myself. Rena and Sadako were fighting fiercely. Were they evenly matched? No, Sadako was pushing her hard. Moving fast, she was driving Rena into a corner. Rena was usually gentle and slow, but today she was different. She was very serious today, and yet Sadako is still overwhelming her. She's a tough customer even without her tricky traps.
最初の異性はどこへ行ってしまいましたのかしら。いい動きをするね。私も負けられないよ。
Sadako kept moving around, piling on pressure in order to pin Rena down. She kept shooting, so her tank must have been empty, but her shots were still sharp and fast. I noticed a bucket near her feet, which was full of many water guns. I understood, seeing that she had been taking guns from the others who were already out of the game. In this battle, reloading bullets, water was more crucial than the actual shooting. The hole that you put water into on these guns is rather small. To put water through it from a faucet takes time and requires a certain amount of skill. But in a battle like this, it would almost be suicidal. I understand that well, so I've been taking guns from people I defeated, but I could only hold one in each hand. Sadako used a bucket to overcome the limit. When it looked like she had only one water gun, I assumed she had two earlier, but she must have used a lot of water during her long battle with Sadako. It looked like she was trying to save her water for the right moment, but with Sadako's fierce attacks, it was obvious that it was only a matter of time before Rena was driven into a corner. However, Rena is also quite skilled. She only pretended to be driven into a corner, but she was actually luring Sadako into a place where she had the advantage. There was a narrow, twisting path near the gymnasium warehouse behind the school building. With Rena's water levels running low, she wanted to turn things around with a single close-range shot. The narrow path was the perfect place for her to do that.
あれあれ、どうして攻撃の手が鈍ってきたね。疲れてきた？お気遣いは嬉しいですけど、まだまだでしてよ。それよりそちらのお水は大丈夫ですの？さっきから全然打ち返してきませんわよ。ひょっとしてもう玉切れじゃございませんの？そうだと思うならお顔を出してみたらどう？遠慮いたしましたよ。最後の一発を温存しているのは分かっていますわ。一発あれば十分だよ。体操服を濡らした気の毒だからね。額を打ってあげるね。まさかレナさんとこんなにもスリリングなやりとりができるなんて思いませんでしたわ。でも最後の一発分の水量では大して勢いもないでしょうから、射程もほとんどないんじゃありません
Sadako was right about that. Rena had just enough water to make one last shot. As the amount of water left in the tank dwindles, the range of shots you can make shortens. That makes the last shot the shortest and weakest of them all. Regardless of her absolute disadvantaged situation, Rena didn't look frustrated. I could tell she had no intention to lose. It was almost like she didn't even see Sadako as a threat.
うまい位置に逃げ込みましたわね。私もさすがに慎重にならざるを得ませんわ。
Sadako seemed to understand how dangerous Rena's last shot was going to be better than I did, since she was the one actually fighting against her.
私、将棋はあまりやらないんですけれど、こういうのを詰将棋って言うんでございましょうね。
Sadako took out another gun with a full tank and shortened the distance between them slowly and carefully. A gun with a full tank doesn't only have long range, it also has enough power to make shots more accurate. If they shot at each other in frontal attack, Sadako would have a 99% chance to win. Even so, Sadako is still afraid of Rena's last shot. Sadako shortened the distance even further, smiling as if unafraid, but I could tell she was actually full of fear. Sadako compared the situation to chess earlier, but it wasn't exactly the same. In chess, you would use some pieces to drive the opponent's king into a corner, but in this case, they were only one under Sadako. You can lose some of your pieces in order to achieve a win, but Sadako doesn't have any pieces other than herself. King can't drive the other king into a corner alone. That's called a stalemate. That's why, while at first glance it looks like Sadako has the absolute advantage, you're actually on equal footing.
さあ参りますわよ。このままチャイムを待つなんて私たちらしくありませんわ。そうだね。勝負しよう。
That's strange, I thought. Rena wouldn't have to move just on a dare from Sadako. What kind of plan did she have? Rena had been hiding behind cover for a while, but she came out without hesitation. I noticed something right away. Rena had a different gun. Sadako seemed to notice it as well.
ここには弾切れになったら逃げ込もうと考えててね。あらかじめ一丁拾って隠してあったの。
Smart. Damn, she's good. Using a trap at the last moment for a come from behind victory, it was as though she was taking Sadako's best skill from her and firing it right back. Sadako no longer had any advantages now that both of them were pointing their guns at each other with full tanks. But she still looked confident. What was going on? Did she have some kind of plan too?
その一丁は私にとっても大切な一丁でしたのよ。どうしてかな。だってその一丁がなかったらレナさんはさっきの銃のまま一撃逆転を狙い続けてこうして私の前に姿を現したりしませんもの。
At that moment, lightning ran through my brain and I instantly understood the situation. Of course! Rena was in a disadvantaged situation earlier, but it was actually the same for Sadako since she didn't have a chance to make her shot while Rena wasn't hiding. Rena had remained conscious in order to hit her with her last shot, and that made it difficult for Sadako to attack her. However, what if Rena didn't need to take the last shot for a come from behind victory? No, I said wrong. What if Rena got a new gun with a full tank? She'd stop hiding and come out to fight against Sadako.
つまりレナさんがここを目指しながら逃げてその銃を拾うことは最初から読んでいましたってことですのよ。
Let Sadako talk crap, Rena. You don't have to listen to her, just shoot her right now. Rena thought the same thing. She shot at Sadako without hesitation. Oh, shit. But she frowned in confusion a moment after. What was going on? She couldn't shoot? Was her water gun broken? Or did somebody break it?
水鉄砲なんてちょっと砂粒を入れて空打ちすればすぐに詰まっちゃうんですのよ。
Son of a bitch!
私が切り札をここに一丁持ってることを先に読んで細工したってわけだね。私いつも言ってましたよ。トラップは最後の最後でほんの一つささやかに。これが究極の美徳でございましてよ。
When it comes to traps, Sadako remained a notch above Rena after all. I couldn't believe Sadako figured out Rena's plan in advance and set a trap to counter it. Rena, you made a big mistake. You should have kept the old gun with you. You could have at least made that last shot. But it's too late now for you to pick it up again. Rena was in a worse situation than she was before. She couldn't even take another shot.
さて観念なさいませ。さっきレナさんは私の額を撃つとか言われましたわね。私が逆に額を撃って差し上げましたよ。
Sadako slowly narrowed her distance again and pointed the muzzle at Rena's forehead. Rena still didn't look like she'd given up. She still thought the game was undecided.
さとこちゃんもまだまだ甘いね。なんですって？トラップで相手を仕留めたならね、さとこちゃんが余裕を見せるのは勝者の権利だと思う。だけどね、今のさとこちゃんは私を絡め取っただけで仕留めたわけじゃない。余裕を見せるのはまだまだ早い段階だとは思わない？何を言い出すかと思えば、今から仕留めるから同じことですわ。私が逆の立場なら脳書きなんか言わずにさっさと撃つ。じゃないと負けるから。負ける？誰が？あら、その壊れた水鉄砲でどうやって戦うおつもりで？被弾の定義覚えてる？水鉄砲というこの容器から出た水が最初に触れたものが標的であったとき、被弾とする。は？それが一体何だって言うんですの？
When I heard her saying that, I started running. My target was Rena. Sadako is already dead to me. Why? She was going to be shot by Rena within the second.
レナさんが何を言ってるのか私さっぱりでしたよ。その壊れた水鉄砲で何ができるおつもりだか。水鉄砲の中に水があれば戦えるんだよ。わかんないかな。
Rena raised her broken water gun up high and smashed its handle on the wall of the school building as hard as she could. Plastic bar broke easily and water flowed out of it.
水鉄砲から出た水が当たればいいんだよ。水鉄砲のどこから出たかは問題にしてない。
Oh shit! Rena was right, she just saved herself by faking it through. She was using real gun bullets would only come out from one end of the gun, but this was as a water gun. She could make her bullets, water in this case, come out from any place, not just the barrel of the gun. Sadako finally realized that she was standing defensively in front of Rena. Sadako's trap was successful, but she overestimated its effect. She should have just shot Rena without hesitation before Rena noticed her new water gun was jammed. She was going to fail because she had grown overconfident of her victory. Second before Sadako pulled the trigger, Rena swung her water gun as if slashing Sadako with a sword. Sadako fired her bullets, but it was too late. Second before Rena would be shot down, a blade of water hit Sadako in the face. No, not hit. It cut her face open.
まだまだ爪が甘かったね。この私が
Gotta be quicker in the draw. Rena went towards Sadako, who was standing still in shock, and took her water gun. Rena knew I was her last target and that I was running towards her. Rena, using her superior mobility, began to duck and weave. We were evenly matched. Neither of us neglected to make any effort possible to take advantage of the situation.
最後には一騎打ちになると思ってたよ。やっぱりこうでなくっちゃね。
見直したぜ。とんでもない根性を見せてくれるじゃないか。
Standing here, I realize you like me.
見直したより惚れ直したの方が嬉しいかな。
負けてくれたらそれでもいいぜ。
ごめんだね。
We circled around this construction equipment, trying to take shots at each other. We were both sweating like crazy, but I didn't feel tired. Big drops of sweat trickled as they ran down my body. Rapid burst of water flew across both our paths. Neither of us had the advantage or disadvantage. I didn't feel elated that I might win or frustrated that I might lose. I was just enjoying this battle with Rena. It was like a dance. A dance that I couldn't dance alone. A dance that I could only dance with an opponent.
本気のレナはやっぱり冴えるね。見てるだけで震えがくるよ。
そのレナさんと互角に渡り合うなんてケイキさんもやりますわね。どちらが勝つか全然予想がつきませんです。
In fact, none of the observers could tell who was going to win. Neither could we. We had no idea who was going to win. We had no idea when this battle would end. I didn't know why, but it was great fun just to fight against Rena, and I didn't even care whether I won or lost. In fact, I never even wanted it to end. As we fired at each other, both our takes emptied and shortened our range. Inevitably, it became more and more like a melee than a gun battle. We fired our water guns as if trying to cut each other with blades of water, swinging the gun like a sword. We both came up with the idea of swinging the gun hard to generate centrifugal force in order to increase the range of our attacks. I dived to duck her shot. I rolled on the ground and landed on my feet. I ducked her shot again and swung my gun like a sword. Who could have imagined that a club's water gun battle would turn into a one-on-one close combat like this? Absolutely nobody.
ああ、やっぱりレナもそう思うか。
じゃあケイチ君もそう思うんだ。
We're both breathing hard, calculated timing needed to take a closer step. And then we both grinned wickedly at each other.
やり合うのが楽しくてならねえぜ。決着がつくことすら興ざめするくらいにな。
負けても恨まないでね。
ああ、 恨まない。この勝負を終わらせた自分の不甲斐なさを恨んでやるぜ。だがそいつを恨むのはどうやらレナの方になりそうだな。
どうかな、ケイチ君、足が藁だよ。
くそったれー。
すごい。なんだかものすごくかっこいい。前原さん頑張れー。龍河さんしっかり。
I became relaxed enough to enjoy the battle, and finally realized that many of our classmates were watching our one-on-one fight. I barely had any water left. I would have to make the next shot count or I was done for. It seemed like Rena was in the same situation too.
泣いても笑っても次で終わりだな。水が有限なのが惜しいぜ。
限りがあるから美しい。花も一緒だよ。
なるほどな。そういう見方もあるか。
One shot,
本
one
当に
kill.
楽しかった。でもこれで終わりだね。
だな。無粋かもしれんが勝って決着させてもらうぜ。
上等だよ、ケイチ君。
負けて泣くなよ。
勝負。
乗ったー。
どっちが勝ったんですの？
The cries of the cicadas echoed in the quiet schoolyard. They sounded like the hand of a watch ticking away the seconds. Neither one of us moved. We took our final shots and now stood motionless. It looked like one of those duels in Western movies.
どっちが先に？
わかんない。全然見えなかった。
Our classmates broke the silence first. I finally realized our intensely beautiful one-on-one battle was over.
委員長、判定は？
Mion in turn realized that she had to deliver a verdict to end the game. But she was just as stunned as the others and took her a moment to recover. Mion was taking time to render her verdict. In fact, Rena and I didn't even know who won either. My last shot flew fast and splashed sideways as if a blade had cut her chest. I knew that for sure, but at the same moment Rena's shot hit me in the shoulder. Whoever shot the other first wins, but we didn't know if it was me or her. That's why we stood motionless, waiting for the verdict to be delivered.
リカには見えまして？僕にだってわかるわけないのです。
委員長、どっちの勝ちなの？
Everybody held their breath, waiting for Mion to call it. Wen and I kept staring at each other. The spectators were the only ones who were interested in who the winner was. To us, it wasn't that important. We had a great battle. We had both really wanted to do better than the other. We both wanted to call it a tie. For this great battle, settling for a tie would be the best and most proper option. In other words, this one-on-one fight wasn't a battle to decide a winner. It seems like everybody's thinking the same way.
ミー？判定が出ないと二人とも動けませんです。
Mion hates to settle for a tie because she loves to draw a line between superiors and inferiors. She tends to settle for a tie when deciding who is the loser because it's more fun to have as many people as possible suffer the punishment, but she's never settled for a tie between winners before. Mion holds a special feeling towards the meaning of being number one. Everybody continued holding their breath, awaiting her verdict. Please make it a tie. Everybody wished for that in their hearts. Mion was hesitating to make the decision. She could have chosen a winner more easily if one of us did even a little bit better than the other. But even if one of us did a little better than the other, I feel like nothing fits better than settling for a tie.
今日の二人は見事だったよ。
Beyond finally started speaking.
ケイちゃんもレナもここしばらくの連敗に発奮し最高の力を発揮してくれた。その瞬発力は評価の肯定の段階を超えてもはや美しいと呼べるまでに昇華されてたよ。私は二人の最高の戦いぶりに評価を惜しめない。
じゃあ決着はどうなるんですの？
快速の精神から1位を2人に認定するのは好ましくない。でも2人にはわずかの優劣もなくどちらを膠着させるかの判断もとてもつかない。よって本日の戦いを預かり勝負とし後日改めて決着をつけることといたしたい。
Nice. I expected she might settle for a tie. I never thought she'd make us have another battle.
灰原さん、すごかったですよ。かっこよすぎます。
竜宮さんにもしびれました。なんかこう、まあ見てるこっちまで熱くなるというか。
The classmates rushed towards us and praised us for showing them something that cool. Rena and I were finally released from the tension of battle and dropped to our knees.
残念。決着をつけ損だったね。
まあな、次の機会を楽しみにしようぜ。
肩を貸してほしいな。
先に言うな。俺が借りようと思ったのに。
We both smiled at each other. It was the first time we ever hit it off like this.
それはそうと。
うまいことやったよな。
うまいことって何がですの？みーちゃん、うまいこと言って今日の罰ゲームうやむやにする気だ。ぎく。
かっこつけときながら保身第一ってあたりがミオンっぽい。逃げたぞ。図星かよ。わかりやすいやつだな。
The bell rang, a sign that class was over while we all laughed at Mion. After that,
二人ともお疲れ様なのです。タオルをどうぞなのです。
Pika-chan held out a towel, a big smile on her face. However, Rena and I stepped back and pointed our water guns at her.
みー、もうみんなにいっぱいいっぱい撃たれましたのです。もう撃たれてると言っても誰も信じてくれないのですよ。
Pika-chan was soaking wet. Well, nobody believed her because she really couldn't be that sneaky, pretending that she was hit in order to stay in the game.
普段が普段でございますものね。信じろというのが難しい相談でございましてよ。みんながいじめるのです。僕はもう一人ぼっちなのです。段ボール箱の中でミーミー泣いて誰も拾ってくれないかわいそうな猫さんなのですよ。みー。
Boom! The sound came from Rena's head. I saw a circle of smoke coming out of it. Rena must have pictured Rika-chan meowing like a cat in a cardboard box. And there she goes.
リカちゃん捨ててあるよ、捨ててある。レナが拾うよ。お持ち帰り。
Aw. Ouch! Beep, beep. Boom! Rena, you're running now. Cool, looked earlier. Rena was back to her normal self and jumped on Rika-chan like a chameleon capturing its prey. Rika-chan struggles to get away.
はい皆さん、早く教室に戻りなさい。
Jay-sensei clapped her hands and yelled at us from the window of the teacher's office.
行こうぜみんな。
Everybody exchanged smiles and ran back to the classroom. Yeah, that was a nice, cool water gun fight. Good old fashioned laser tag type of thing. Shit, would probably be fun to play laser tag again. Okay, that was the end of the chapter. Cool. I thought that was just the midway point. But I do not know how long this video is going to be, so I'm going to end it here. If you guys enjoyed this type of content, hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, hit the like button. Want to tell me something? Put that in the comments below. Want to check out the Discord server I hang out in or my Twitter? Check the description below. And yeah, this has been Voidlego. I'll see you guys next time. See ya!